Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video and please subscribe, share and click on the bell and for more and more awesome videos for your career importance and your development and the job and how to crack the interviews and the questions to answer in the interview. Like, just get it down to the first point. It's a very simple question which you might face very hard in your interview. That is, tell me about yourself. A genuine answer to this question is very easy, but some people might think that it is very hard. When the hiring manager asks you, tell me about yourself, some people might feel very nervous and they're unable to answer the question and they might feel and they start telling like this. My name is like my name is Prashanti. I'm from here. I have I have my family. Just you will be stopping and you are bubbling on that. Think clearly how the hiring manager changes in a 2 minutes of fracture of seconds he changes his mind. How can you make a good impression if you speak like that? You have submitted your resume, you waited very patiently, and finally you got an opportunity to prove yourself. Right? Everyone waiting for that day to prove yourself. But when the time comes, you're feeling very nervous and very in a mind where you cannot answer the question. We think it's very easy to tell about yourself, but sometimes we face a difficulties in this thing. So please don't be like that. Today I'm going to help you with this answer, very genuine answer for this question. It's a very good answer and an easy answer. You went to interview. All the hiring managers are before you and they are smiling at you and you're ready for interview. The hiring manager asks you, tell me about yourself. Yes, it's a very simple question, but it feels very hard to answer because of your nervousness, because of your shy, because your fear, and because you're seeing so many people over you and you fear something. That's right. If you feel nervous, stress, or you skips or you stops in the middle, you will never get a second chance to face the same interview. The hiring manager, whoever listen, makes up his mind in a fracture of seconds. Do you feel you cracked the round number one? If you answers like that, feeling stressed, feeling nervous, and feelings, and you skips the answers, and you stops in the middle and starts again. Do you make a good impression with him? No, right? Okay. Today I'm going to explain how to crack the question. Tell me about yourself. Here we go with the best answer for the tell me about yourself. Then we go with the fracture of points. The number point one, when the HR asks you tell me about yourself, remember that they are not asking your entire life story or your background or about your parents and about your things in your home, or do you have a bike, do you have a car, do you own a house, or do you have a pets. This is not the questions he is asking about you. Tell me about yourself. He is asking the question, tell me about yourself. According to the manager, the hiring manager, it relates to the post. And the next one is be yourself or your best self. You have to be genuine, you don't need to be fake. It doesn't mean you have to share everything which doesn't need to be shared in the interview. Make sure you present your best self confidently without skipping the paths. Okay, just you can start telling the interview and the hiring manager asks you, tell me about yourself. Choose the right starting point for your story. Okay, your goal when answering tell me about yourself is to give a brief, concise walkthrough of your career story that will show off your relevant pieces of experience. If you're a recent graduate, start with the fact that you're just graduated and explain why you choose this career path or field of area of study. For example, you might start your answer like this. I graduated with my degree in economics 2 months ago. I chose that field of study because I always been interested in finance and money. And a couple of family members told me it leads to a great career options too. You can simply say that. If you have 1 year or 2 years of experience, start with the moment you graduated and walk them through your employment experience since then. Like an example, I graduated with my degree in industrial engineering 6 years ago and immediately went to work for a small design firm in Vizag. Since then, Ivy. And you can start so and so and so. And the second point, highlight impressive experience and accomplishments. As you tell your career story, explain key accomplishments you achieved, work you will done, skills you will learn, and a key career moves you made. Were you promoted? That always a great sign and worth mentioning. Did you accomplish something significant, like solving a big problem for your last employer? That's great to mention too. Did you build new skills or overcome challenges? Great specific. Tell the details. But random impressive facts aren't enough. You should be thinking about how this ties in with the company you are talking to. You should always research the company before going into the interview. Study the job description in particular so you know what skills they are care about. The most need about. What does this particular job involve? Is there a lot of leadership? Talk about your experience leading no matter how small, how it went, what you learned, what you achieved. Does the job involve a high level of technical skill? Talk about yourself. You learned and advanced in that area through each step of your career. You need to tailor your answer for tell me about yourself for the job description and their needs. Try to talk about your experiences and qualifications that are relevant for this job you applied for. And point number 3, conclude by explaining your current situation. Finally, the best way to finish your story is to bring them up to speed on your current situation. Why you wanted to apply for the job? What exactly you are looking to do next? For example, you might end your answer by saying, and that's why I wanted to interview with your firm. This position seems like a great opportunity to advance those skills I just talked about and continue building my career and challenging myself in every step. And point number 4, keep your answer work related. When employer asks, tell me about yourself in an interview, they usually want to hear about you as a professional, right? So the safest approach is to keep your answer work related and share your career story rather than personal details of your life. You can show me personality as the interview goes on, but it's risky to share too much personal info when answering tell me about yourself. It could lead to your best getting too long, or it could cause you to leave out important professional information that the interview was actually looking for. Just be concise when answering. Just it should be at 2 minutes or less. When they say tell me about yourself, it's going to be tempting to give a long-winded answer. It's such an open-ended question, and we covered a lot about. There's something just as important as any of that. You need to be concise. Your communication ability to stay track on with your answer is something they are actually watching. The interviewer wants to see that you can tell your story from point A beginning to point B the end without getting sidetracked, distracted, or scattered or stopping in the middle. Because it tells them how you will communicate as an employee. When there's a problem, when there's a disagreement, or when you simply need to share your acknowledge or your opinion. If you take this answer beyond 2 minutes, you're shooting yourself in the foot. In fact, below 90 seconds is ideal. Practice at home with a timer. Tell me yourself. Example. You can say, I graduated with a business degree in 2020 and was offered an accountant managing management position from a telecommunications company. I had interned with, I loved working with customers and managing and growing my accounts. But the industry we were in just wasn't very appealing to me. After that, I studied full year and learned a ton about how to build and manage accounts successfully. I ended up becoming a top performer in my group before leaving. I left at the 1 year mark to pursue a very similar position with an industry. And I feel ready to take my career to the next level. So that's why I'm currently looking for a new opportunity. And if you have no experience, this is the best to explain. Tell me about yourself. I graduated with a degree in engineering 2 months ago. I chose that field of study because I've always been interested in maths and physics. And a couple of my family members told me that it leads to great career opportunities. One of my key accomplishments during my academic career was speaking at conference on the topic of energy efficient window design based on research I had done for one of my senior level classes. This led to an internship that I just wrapped up. So I'm actually looking for a full-time position now. This is the best way to answer that. Practice your answer before the interview. As a final tip, make sure you go practice everything you plan on saying when the interviewer asks, what can you tell me about yourself? Nothing comes out perfect the first time. You don't want to appear nervous and stumble when they ask. So, I would recommend grabbing a piece of paper and writing down the key points you want to talk about in your answer. I like to write them in a bullet format. Then, use your smartphone's voice recorder app to record a few practice answers and see how you sound. Don't look at your notes as you give your answer. The idea is to try to remember what you want to talk about without reading off the paper. Then glance at the paper after to make sure you covered everything. Keep practicing until you give a smooth answer without forgetting anything important. If you're having a phone interview, you can use bullet notes points to help you guide through your answer. Nobody can see you on the phone, so take advantage. Short and precise answer to this, and I hope you guys loved it. Thank you so much for watching this video and all the best for your interview.